In today's video, we're going to be reacting to the latest strange and more questionable clips that I could find on TikTok. Let's get into it.
While everybody's looking up, don't forget to look down, specifically below us. This comes from a group walking down the street in Denver, Colorado, when they heard what sounds like these growls and snarls coming from the gutter, like literally from inside of it. They have no idea what it is. But for those who are into the conspiracy or the paranormal, they know that there's this huge conspiracy regarding the Denver airport, and that is a secret base that was built underneath it. Now, whether it's true or not, there are some weird things coming out of Denver that are typically caught in the skies or sometimes around them. This is another one. Take a look at this video, comment below, tell me what you think.
Yeah, video that.
Yeah, what's in there?
Yeah, video that.
Yeah, what's in there?
Denver may be pretending everything is fine, but that sounds like Mufasa fighting for his life under the streets. Realistically, it's probably just sounds from train tracks and traffic, maybe even water draining, but that really does sound like a lion. Let me know what you believe it to be.
Whoever you are, or if you are also trying these SeptaSync tapes in your meditations, please let me know. Does it also kind of change your brain semi-permanently for a couple of days afterwards? I don't know which one of you just signed up for SeptaSync because of me and using my little code and everything, but that's so profoundly cool. You have no idea how excited that makes me, because this meditation is phenomenal and it's like literally supercharging my brain. So the whole premise is that it allows you to dream while you are awake, and that is for me at least effective and true, but also it has been supercharging me. Like, I have this effect that lasts 2 to 3 days where I have super perceptive, memorable dreams and also easy recall of other dreams that I've had.
I actually was kind of curious about this whole SeptaSync tape thing, so I went to Google and looked it up, and I found their website, and it's paid, which normally I do not have a problem with, but it's $10 a month, and you get 3 free days, but there's a $1 sign-up bonus. And I looked on Spotify to see if there was any SeptaSync tapes, and there was, but it's been removed. I would like to give it a listen just to see what it sounds like, but I'm definitely not going to give out the extra cash for it. I highly doubt that this is going to make me think or feel any differently. But let me know if you've ever listened to Septa music before. It sounds kind of nasty, but interesting at the same time.
We now have tiny flying cars that do not require you to have a pilot's license. What could go wrong? This is the pivotal Helix. It's fully electric, weighs less than some motorbikes, and only requires a 2-week training course before you can take to the skies. You don't need a freaking runway to take off or land because it lifts vertically similar to a helicopter. It comes with a parachute and a flotation device, just in case. And by weighing only 348 pounds, it's categorized as an ultralight aircraft, meaning it actually bypasses a lot of US aircraft regulations, which is also why you don't actually need a license to fly. But before you say, take my money, there's almost no point. It can only fly about 20 miles or 20 minutes before the batteries die. There's only one seat for the driver, so no passengers, all alone. And they're still actually banned by the FAA from flying over congested areas such as neighborhoods and cities, so it's not even like you can skip the traffic. And with a starting price of $190,000, it's kind of expensive for a joyride. So the question is, are flying cars still the future, or should we just let it go?
I mean, I'm sure it's no more difficult than operating a drone, but still, there should be a little bit more qualification to this. 2 weeks may really not be enough. I'm glad that they're at least not able to fly them over neighborhoods or congested areas, because that just sounds like a hazard waiting to happen. But I can about guarantee that there's going to be a lot of rich people that pick up on this pretty quickly, and then laws will be implemented to suit their needs. Let's just hope that when this becomes a thing, people aren't as reckless as they are on normal roads. The last thing we need is reckless air drivers above people's homes.
So what is a skinwalker? I've had so many people ask me this question, so let's get into it. Skinwalkers are very similar to shapeshifters. They have the ability to shift between either being a human or being an animal, usually birds, wolves, or even deers. According to the Navajo mythology, skinwalkers started out as men and women who were studying all different types of magic, both good and bad. And once these people had reached their highest power of magic, they began using their power powers for evil to bring harm upon other people. It said that skinwalkers have the ability to possess both animals and humans with nothing more than simple eye contact. It's a method to deceive people. They can mimic people's voices and they have the ability to morph into just about anything that they want. Skinwalkers has been a thing for many years, but over the recent years it's become more popular because of the likes of places like Skinwalker Ranch in Utah. Skinwalker Ranch is probably the well-known hotspot that people are familiar of these paranormal skinwalker sightings. Whether skinwalkers are real or not, I certainly don't want to come across one.
Here in South Carolina, we definitely have some skinwalkers. They don't even try to blend in very well. And if you get too close to them, they'll try to sell you crack. Be careful out there. Hey, if you haven't done so already and you're enjoying the show, give it a like. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. I upload a video like this every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. And for everyone that's watching and or subscribed, thank you so much for supporting the channel.
An absolutely terrifying video was uploaded by this TikToker. He is a security guard at a train yard. So at night, him and his crew go through, check all the trains, the train carts, make sure there's nobody there. Sometimes they film their interactions while they're going through because they do silly things. But in this particular video, he captures something absolutely terrifying. So, did you see it? The creepiest part about it is he looked directly into this train car and didn't see anything. Now I'm going to show you the video again and I'm going to point out what is in this video. He walks past and shines his light into this train car. Now look in the window of this train car. What looks like a woman is peering out at him. But he did not notice it at all and continued about his night. What I think's really strange about this is this woman almost looks gray. She has very dark eyes, and it looks like a ghost. Not to mention it'd be very difficult to get inside of one of these after they're shut off. But what do you guys think? Do you think that this is a ghost? Or what do you think this is? Let me know.
Definitely a good catch. I did not see it at first. The second go around, it's pretty clear that someone's in that train. Could be a homeless person, could be a ghost, you really don't know on this one. It could have even been a hoax. I have not checked out any other videos from Fernando, so I do not know if this is an ongoing thing, or if this was just a one-time thing where he actually caught something and it looked like a ghost. I mean, at least he was lucky enough to catch it on his phone, but if he didn't have his phone out and he was actually looking around like a security guard should, would he have seen it? Let me know what you guys think it was in the comments.
Not just to the back. It's back, and artificial intelligence, AI, will not be allowed on the platform. Do you know how much truth can get out in 6 seconds? Quite a bit, actually. It's not on the App Store yet, so you have to download the APK files, which me personally, I'm not doing. But the second it hits the Play Store, I'll be there. And no, this is not paid promotion.
Wow, that could actually be a pretty big deal. Vine back in the day was an interesting social platform to say the least. And if they keep it with the 6-second rule where each video that you watch is just 6 seconds, no longer, that will make for a very interesting form of content and reacting to certain things. Because when Vine was out, people were not really reacting to videos, they were more or less creating videos. And Vine brought in a lot of people into YouTube as creators. But now creators can just watch Vine videos. It's going to be interesting. I'll give it a shot once it hits the App Store. This might actually open up a whole new world of content creation of reactors watching Vines. I'm interested. Let me know how you feel about it.
Psychics who have solved crimes. In 1987, 42-year-old nurse and mother of 5 Elizabeth Cornish was beaten to death in her New Jersey home. The only suspect at the time was her boyfriend, the person who actually found her body. However, nobody in Elizabeth's family actually believed that this guy was guilty, so they turned to the help of a psychic known as Nancy Weber and asked for help. Nancy claimed immediately that the police had got it wrong and that Elizabeth's boyfriend was definitely not responsible for Nancy's murder. So Nancy herself actually reached out to the investigators who were familiar with her work and said, let me on the case. They then took Nancy to the crime scene, and when Nancy was in the apartment, she said, the killer lives above. He lives exactly upstairs. She then started to describe what this guy looked like, and it did in fact match the identity of John Reese, the guy who lived upstairs. Now, John Reese was able to provide an alibi for the time of death that the coroner had initially stated. However, Nancy was relentless in her belief. Her belief not only that John Reese had done it, but also that it had happened 4 hours prior to what the coroner had written. The case actually got re-examined, and the coroner did in fact change the time of death. John Reese was then actually brought into the police station for questioning, where he did actually confess. He was then sent to prison with a life sentence, and Elizabeth's boyfriend was then freed.
That's pretty incredible. I looked up Nancy Weber just to see what all she has done, and she solved a few cases. I really enjoy hearing about these psychic stories because it really does add a level of mystery to where they're getting their psychic abilities from. And how does one tap into that psychic power? I mean, if they're really sensing all this stuff and they're having visions of who these people are, that is impressive. Unless there's more to it, or there was clues to the crime scene that she just cued together that she's like, oh, well, yeah, it's definitely the guy from upstairs, which, what was it? That kind of stuff always blows my mind.
I am not letting anyone on God's green earth try to gaslight me into thinking that these are natural aurora lights. I'm just not. People in my comments section saying, go back to high school, research something for once. You guys have fun reading the textbook that Ghislaine Maxwell's father wrote for you, okay? Have fun researching other researchers. Basically, all you're doing is regurgitating information from somebody else. You never touched it, sniffed it, felt it, nothing. But moving on. One of the biggest things that I noticed about these aurora lights that we've been spotting is they look nothing like the aurora spots that are regularly sighted in places like Alaska. Can you spot the difference? Can you tell me how on every single one of these pictures there are swirls and lines?
Overnight, brilliant shades of red, green, and purple painted the sky, from San Francisco Bay to farmland in Wisconsin. Here's a pilot's view over Chicago.
Now compare those aurora lights to the aurora lights that people see on a regular basis in Alaska. Totally different. The aurora lights we're seeing, do you see how different they are? Almost boring compared to these aurora lights, where there's swirls, multiple colors, lines in the sky. This isn't anything like the ones that we're seeing today. I will say in my comments section, I've seen a lot of people say that wildlife is acting bizarre, their animals are acting weird, they are feeling weird, and I can vouch for that. Almost anybody that I have talked to on this app, whether they are a follower of mine and reached out, or whether they are also another content creator that I have felt off for the past year. And to be honest with you guys, look at my post. This month has been the worst for me. But you guys tell me, do you guys honestly feel like the northern lights that we have been seeing recently are anything compared to the other places all over the world that see them on a regular basis?
There's actually a whole reason why the aurora doesn't look the same as it would in, say, Alaska. Now, I'm not a scientist or an auroral physicist, but the reason why they look so much different in Alaska is because it's within the proximity of the aurora oval. And past that, I cannot get into the technicalities, but you can Google that, and it will explain it for you in detail. But to respond to this lady, the reason why it doesn't look the same is because we're not in the same area. Jeez. Its face. Why do they gotta pull the curtains back? Wow. It looks like good old Russia is fueling their robots with vodka. The face that it had when they were lifting it up was priceless.
I just found out there's a restaurant chain in the United States that if you connect the dots on the map of where these restaurant locations are, it forms pentagrams in 7 different cities. Now, I don't like using ChatGPT, but I had to ask it one question. What are the odds of a restaurant chain in the United States making the restaurants on the map make up pentagrams in 7 different cities across the states? One word answer only: astronomical. The restaurant chain in question? Outback Steakhouse. You may be thinking, this one in New York City is just a coincidence. It's surely not a recurring theme here. Here's another one in Indianapolis. Pentagram, upside down. Here's another one in Florida, shaping a pentagram. And there's even more. At this point, the odds of that being in one city maybe are extremely low, but multiple are absolutely insane. So then, who owns Outback Grill Restaurant Action Steakhouse? Well, their parent company, I did some digging, is Bloomin' Brands. So then you got to follow the money. Who owns Bloomin' Brands? And are they satanic? Of course, we got to ask. Well, I was just shocked to find out that its largest shareholder is Vanguard. Now, you may be thinking, is Vanguard a company that is interested in the longevity, health, and prosperity of the world, and into organicness, and into healthy things, and into making water and air and food clean and pure and prosperous humanity? I'm not so sure. Do they get together in back rooms and shady deals under the table? I don't know. I'm not saying they are, but I mean, how many people go to Bohemian Grove who are probably involved in this freaking group? And have any of them been to that island? I don't know these things, but all I know is what the Sam Dam is with the orientation of these pentagrams. And further, what might be in the food? I can tell you, if I made an organic restaurant chain company, I would form the shapes of a torus field, the Fibonacci sequence. The pentagram's the last shape I would pick. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and follow for more.
I have not done any research on this. I've not gone to Google Maps and mapped out all the Outback Steakhouses to see how accurate this is. So I cannot guarantee you that this is a real thing. But if it is, I play enough Dungeons and Dragons to know that is not how you place restaurants. That's how you summon something. And it kind of makes sense now why all the meat looks all weird and mushy. Maybe the bloomin' onion's actually a ritual item and the steak's not seasoned, but enchanted. And honestly, at this point, if the Outback ribeye starts glowing, you know it's not undercooked. It's just evolving. But seriously, I've not done any research on seeing if these restaurants actually do form pentagrams. But if they do, that is pretty questionable. Alright guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end today's video. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching these clips with me. I would also like to say, which I really don't know if I want to announce this yet, but Saturday I should have a new type of video out. It'll be within the same realm of reacting to things, but it's going to be a try not to laugh. I would really like to have a video like that out on Saturday, and maybe even make that a Saturday type of video so that it'll add a little bit more variety to the channel, and maybe also relieve some of the super stressful and upsetting news that you may have heard throughout all of the week. But I've been thinking about what time should I upload this video in an Eastern Standard Time zone. Normally I have my videos upload at 9 a.m. in the morning. Again, that's Eastern Standard Time. But I feel like a video for a try not to laugh should be done later in the day. 9 a.m. just sounds too early for that type of video. I could be wrong on that one. If you have any input, please leave it in the comments. I would love to hear it. And again, it may not even happen, but I would really like for something like that to happen. Let me know how you guys feel about this, what you guys think about. If you have a preferred time frame, please post it in Eastern Standard Time so I know what time frame exactly. With that being said, if today's your birthday, happy birthday, and if not, have a good day anyways.